Welcome to Cave Convos. I'm Heiwa Bear. To my right here is
Heiwa.
and my left.
Heiwa Crane.
We're coming to talk about, the recent release of Thunderbolts and, give our honest, immediate, reactions to how good the film
In
was.
a non-spoiler capacity, not intending to spoil anything for anybody. Obviously, it's hot off the presses.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the reason why we went and saw it on opening night was so we didn't have to
We
worry about
knew the spoiler. A lot of times, I don't even see stuff open at night for real. Or a lot of times, I won't even see stuff in theaters. But with Marvel, you just know the spoilers are going to be so heavy, especially on the gram. I know the gram bad for it.
Yeah, most definitely.
We almost got spoiled on the way to the movie.
Yeah, literally. Like they were already posting spoilers.
And it had only been out for
Hours.
A matter of hours. Some folks were already spoiling deaths and all that good stuff.
So that's definitely not what we're intending to do today.
No. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Young Crane, if you could lead off with your thoughts.
Honestly, I think this movie was probably some of Marvel's best stuff in years. I mean, I'm not gonna say that they've been doing too bad. I mean, the shows haven't been great in my opinion. Some of them are alright. The movies have kind of been lackluster, except for I'm not too mad about the last Captain America, but this movie was actually really good. I was going into this, I was expecting something, maybe a 7. I mean, I was expecting solid. I wasn't a big fan of some of these characters. I'm not a huge fan of most of these characters. Honestly, the only characters that I really cared about in it were Yelena because I like Hawkeye, the show, and Bucky because I'm just armed and dangerous. You know what I mean? But I came out of this movie with an appreciation for characters that I didn't think I would have, and honestly, it really didn't even really feel. They didn't have the same tone that most Marvel movies did either.
Not at all.
No, they completely took a different
A very different direction.
This wasn't your run-of-the-mill superhero movie. These guys were trying to make you think about some stuff throughout this movie, and I mean they've done this before with certain things like with Wanda and all that. We're trying to be a little bit more introspective, but I feel like they were actually.
But that was almost introspective in a very high concept sci-fi way, whereas this was really just generally introspective.
Yeah, this is. With Wanda, it was real Twilight Zone-y.
Yeah,
like
the whole Vision's existence, and now this Vision is a copy of the last Vision, and we're just getting so existential. Which that stuff's good. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying this was introspection on a much more human level.
Yeah, and I think the way they did that was just by making the characters more human. They chose characters that were more grounded,
that were flawed. They chose flawed.
Yeah, they chose a group of flawed characters that were honestly some of the most interesting personalities that I've seen on a Marvel screen in a minute.
All right, well, thank you, Young Crane, Young Bear.
As Young Crane here said, I agree that the movies in the past few years have been pretty lackluster, and due to some actor issues and just Marvel's trying to go in the next phase and trying to leave behind what was already working. I think they they tried to go jump leaping bounds above what they what the fans actually really wanted.
Yeah, Quantum Mania comes to mind.
Yeah. I will say I think that there have been some good TV shows that they have dropped. I think that Loki was very well done, season 1 and season 2.
I agree for sure. I think Hawkeye's a good show.
Yeah, I agree. Hawkeye was good.
It sucks to see that Jeremy Renner is upset about season 2 and not coming back.
Yeah, and even WandaVision, as much as it gets some flack, I think that as poorly as that movie kind of happened to be, they set it up nicely with WandaVision. So even though it didn't come out the way they wanted it to.
I do agree that if you have seen WandaVision, it makes Multiverse of Madness a much better movie. My biggest beef with Multiverse of Madness is first you had no business calling that a Doctor Strange movie.
It wasn't Wanda.
It's not a Doctor Strange movie. Yeah. It's way more about Wanda and America than it is Steven. And you smack Steven's name on the cover.
Yeah. I mean, and he played a vital part in the end or whatever.
If anything, why didn't you just let it be a movie about Wanda in America? Like, why did Doctor
With a
Strange
Doctor Strange appearance.
need to be there for real? Like,
It actually would have been a better film that way.
and we could have gotten an actual Doctor Strange sequel at some point. But hopefully, they introduced Clea and everything, which is, his long-term love interest. So hopefully we are going to get some more Doctor Strange focus in the next time. But let's stay on topic.
Yeah, I think, this is one of the first times we actually got to see, all these characters together in one, in a setting, and I think they play well against each other's personality in terms of just like the actors and how they portray themselves.
I agree that the chemistry between the cast was excellent.
Yeah.
And that adds a lot to the film. When everybody's kind of jiving together. And if there's some butting heads on a scene on set, there's gonna be some issues. So
No, I feel like these guys are probably besties.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you could tell the chemistry was fierce for sure.
I mean, you can only it only be so bad when David Harbour's there.
Real. Well, I mean, they also had Wyatt Russell. Wyatt Russell seems like a lovely guy.
Yeah,
and Florence Pugh. Everyone loves Florence Pugh.
Yeah, great people.
No, you're fantastic. It was a great cast. I mean, I loved every single member of the cast. I felt like they brought a level of lovability to these characters that was just incredible. And I mean, even Valentina as the villain was so captivating, and to humanize her the same way they humanized the Thunderbolts, wherein they show a certain aspect of her past that's quite tragic. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it does a lot to explain. Just one 3-minute scene does leaps and bounds to explain how we got here to who Valentina is. It does leaps and bounds of just seeing one instance of something that happened to her. I mean, this movie wants you to ask yourself that question of like, if I have an issue with this person and who this person is, what do I think has happened to them in their life to make them this way? And that's empathy. That's really what I thought the number one message of this movie was truly a call for empathy. And I've had one of my major criticisms of Marvel before this movie was really just that the answer to everyone's problems is violence, and that it was really starting to make the fan base somewhat violent, in my opinion. Not to be hypocritical, but I felt like we were getting to a point where violence is being more and more glorified to impressionable audiences. And, it's like I've told them before, you leave the movie feeling like the Avengers, so does everybody else. And now you all think that it's us versus them, and everybody thinks they're the Avengers. Nobody thinks they're the Chitauri. Nobody thinks they're Thanos. Everybody thinks they're the Avengers. And it's civil war all over the place, man. And that's why Thunderbolts truly blew me away. That Avengers, they're supposed to be the good guys, yeah. And the moral of that movie is violence solves problems. These characters, so many people would have just made this a hyper-violent gore fest. And instead, we got a movie that's message was empathy over everything. That empathy is the real answer to humanity's problems.
Yeah, they set these characters up just unempathetic as hell.
And to come through with such a strong message of empathy, it was truly beautiful and moving.
True
to me.
courage.
I would honestly have to say that my sound score would be a 9 out of 10.
I would definitely probably say the same. Definitely like a 9. They could have really done much more.
A unanimous 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
You heard it from the Bears Mall, guys, and that is a fat 9 out of 10 for your salmon score for Thunderbolts. Asterisk, okay, you need to find out about that asterisk, okay? There's a reason. Hey, get out there, man, because they changing billboards and everything. And
go watch this movie ASAP, bro. They trying to spoil it themselves.
Marvel's spoiling it for
we being nice people, not telling you, because they changing billboards.
Marvel does not care. They changing billboards, man.
Don't go outside until you see this movie.
Get out there. Watch the movie, please. I don't think you'll regret it at all if you have ever enjoyed a superhero anything in your life.
There's a reason why they're pushing this movie so hard. So
they were
For good
over
reasons,
dangerous
for
with
good
this
reasons.
one.
And thank you guys. Hey,
Yeah,
hey, wow.